Alright, so I am going to be showing everybody how to do an easy peel die cut sticker. So I am just creating this with the Starcraft Solo machine, and this is the only way that I have been able to figure it out. But I just did a few of these yesterday, and they've turned out really good. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So I've got my folder open, and I'm literally just picking this up, and I'm dragging it across. Now, Starcraft, it's an awesome program. It is a very temperamental program, and it's quite slow. So now that I have it over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and come to the right here, and we're going to resize it. I always look at the biggest one. I'm just going to go ahead and take out the 7. We're going to go ahead and make it 0.8 or 0.9. That's what I typically do. I'm going to go ahead and zoom on in. Okay. And then right here, I don't touch it. I just come up here to path, come up to offset path. And I do personally like the setting for most of my die cut stickers to be right around the 0.035. If you want a little bit lower, which you can, go ahead and put it to like 0.0 and just hit enter 30 like this. You just are watching for the little side ads. So like this here, this little heart here, if this heart was out just a little bit more, sometimes it will skip the art off of the sticker. So this isn't too bad. So we'll go ahead and do it this way. We're going to hit OK. Now it disappears, but when you hover over it, it's there again. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the right, where it shows layers. You're going to pull that up. You're going to click on this little gray arrow. Push that down. Now we're going to just click on where it says cut. Okay. Now that we have that clicked on, we're going to come up here to this color thing, this little palette to the right. And you're going to come over here to where it says stroke. And we're going to go ahead and hit color, because that's showing that that color is, there's no color to it, it's just none. So here, on this one, I'm going to go ahead and make this one red. Now this is going to be the kiss cut part of the sticker, okay? And I'm going to now clean it up, because really and truly, all those little things in the middle of the sticker we really don't want. So we're going to go ahead and come over here to the left where it shows the shape tool. We're going to click on the left. And then over here, now keep in mind it is very temperamental, okay? You're going to just click right on here. And as you can see, that little itty bitty thing right at the end of my cursor, we're going to click it once. We're going to come up to the keyboard and hit delete. And see how that has it all blue? That means that entire chunk is going to be deleted. And that is what I want, okay? Now I'm going to come over here, and we're just going to do this with all these extra little buttons. Now see how this is still blue, and I'm hitting delete, delete, delete. Okay, here's this one, delete. Here's this one, we're going to delete. This one, delete. That one I accidentally clicked off. Now, best way of clicking back on there, this is still on. Okay, so the little shaping tool is still what is on my mouse. But we're going to come over here to the right and hit cut. Okay, we're going to hit the cut one. And then we're going to come over here again and delete, delete. And then we're going to come down here, delete. Make sure all of these look pretty good. Now, with the program, it doesn't really and truly care for all of these little dots, because every one of those is where it does actually stop and kind of contour around these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click off of this now, okay, and kind of just look at how these all look, okay? I personally am going for the more contoured look, so I don't really want it to be just a square. So I'm going to go ahead and leave those, okay? Now what you're going to come ahead and do, okay, is you're going to come over here, and this now, when you click this little square or this triangle, this is now one large sticker. Now you cannot click it here because we're still on the shaping tool. So we're going to come over here and click the little arrow, okay? And now what we're going to go ahead and do is pick up the whole thing and move it, okay? Now, with this next part, you can do this when it's this small, or you can do it when it's a little bit bigger. I personally am going to do it when it's just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to come over here to the right side to where it shows the sizing. And you can do it two ways. You can just grab this and pull it down, but that will distort the proportions on the side and the top and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it manually. So right here, making sure this is keep proportions, I am going to go ahead and put in the size of the sticker that I'm looking for. Now I am wanting to do a page of 2.5. So we're going to put 2.5. Hit delete once, so that way it's there. And you always do it to the bigger one of the two sizes. So the width in this case was bigger, and now we're going to hit enter. And it automatically changes the bottom one as well. Okay. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click over here. Everything's looking really, really good. Now I'm going to come over here to where it shows us again in the layers section. You're going to click on this little sideways thing, and then we're going to come down here where it shows the cut. Okay, now on the cut, we're going to now just come over here to the right, or to the left, excuse me, and you see how the cursor has now changed? It looks like a cursor, now it looks like a multi-directional. You're going to click, like on the right click, or not the left pointer, right click, you're going to hit copy. You're going to click off of that, you're going to right click, and you're going to hit paste. Now what that has done is this is just creating another cut. Okay, now for right now we're going to leave it. I do not recommend moving it because I have had some instances when I'm making sticker sheets that if I move a certain sticker and I play with it and put it back together, for some reason the awesome machine decides it's going to cut that sticker right where I did a lot of the playing. So I have now decided I'm just not doing any of that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, whoops, I'm not going to do that portion. So undo. So sorry. So right here, I'm going to come to the left side. And all the way down here where it shows this one here, it shows rectangle. Yours might say square, it might say circle. Now to get to that, you have to hit the left arrow, hit it, and hold it down. So you're holding it down, not just hitting it. And then you're going to come over here. Now sometimes these work amazing, sometimes they don't. Okay. I personally would like a rounded rectangle, so I'm going to click on that one. And then I'm going to come right down here. Now just ignore the iced coffee addict design. Just focus on the one cut one, which is just this one here, okay? And we're just going to come right about midway, so about here. And I'm just going to go ahead and form the tab. You don't have to do it as big as the one I'm doing. You can do it a little bit smaller. This is the size that I personally like because I'm going to put my logo, or not my logo, excuse me, my actual crafting name in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, click on this. The reason why is if you had kept on going, it's just going to make a whole bunch more of these boxes, okay? Now on here, sometimes you can hit this and bring it up just a wee bit, but sometimes it just takes it and puts it in its own thing. So what I'm going to do, as I said, it's very finicky, is I'm going to come over here, and in this section here, because this is what is actually hit on it, I'm going to come over here and move this up, okay? And this is going to go ahead and allow the easy peel part of it, the little tab, to be merged into the main sticker. Okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and hit shift, and then I'm going to go ahead holding that down. I'm going to grab the cut file. Sometimes it will do it this way, sometimes it won't. I always look over here to make sure that it's grabbed both. And now we're going to go over here again, right click, and you're going to come all the way up here to where it shows path, and we're going to hit union. Now that time it worked. Sometimes if it blinks at you or it just groups them together, you literally have to shut down the program and put it back on. Okay, again, I love this machine. It is my favorite. I have the crickets and I've got the silhouettes and all of those and the cameos. And this one's by far is my favorite, even though it is very, very picky. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is on this one, we haven't clicked off. We're going to come over here and you can see where it shows the union. We're going to come up here to where it shows the color palette. And because of the fact that I need for my own self to know what I'm doing on this, I'm going to go ahead on the red. I'm going to go ahead and change this to blue. So for me, my actual die cut sticker part of it is always going to be blue. Even when I make sticker sheets, the outer border is always blue. Okay, just the way that I remember things. All right. Now on here, what we're going to go ahead and do now is you can sometimes, it will allow you to pull this one up and line it right back up. and that time it did it. Sometimes you might have to, you know, do your little inch over here. Now where this one's clicked, okay, we're going to come over here to where it shows it's underneath the color palette, but it has little lines. Now this one here, do you see how it says cut only? This one you actually need to change. This needs to be score. Score means it's going to go through both sheets. Okay, it's going to go through the top sticker part of the adhesive sheet and then the bottom backing sheet. Okay, now down here you're going to hit on cut. This is only the top design cut part, and it says print and cut. So that means it's going to go ahead and be the actual cut part of it. But this one is only cut only. If you hit on the print one, it shows it's part of the print and cut, but it's the only print side, so it's only going to print that. If you have the cut one and you put the cut one as print only, it's going to do exactly that. It's just going to print it, okay? So now we can go ahead and close this one up here because that's done. And then on this one, we're going to just click off. And then over here, we're going to go ahead and write in our little text. And I'm going to put the name of my business, which is capital. Crafty Design Corner.com. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to color this in. So I hit the color and I'm still on the text line. And I'm going to hit the color for the stroke of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this one black. So hit OK and then come up here. And then that's the lining of it. So that's the outline of it. And then you're going to come up here to where it shows fill. And you're going to go ahead and color. And you're going to go ahead whatever color you want that to be. And hit OK. And then we're going to come over here on the right side where it shows the text on the very bottom right. And then this is where you can go ahead and actually change what font you want. Now, what I definitely would recommend to do now is come over here to where it shows File and go ahead and save your project. So I'm going to go Save Project As, and this is going to be my coffee. Coffee Easy Peel, okay? And saving on Starcraft takes a hot minute, okay? One thing that you have to remember with Starcraft Create, it's an awesome program. The more stuff you have in it, the longer it's going to take to save, the longer it's going to take to open. So have lots of patience. So now I'm going to go ahead and resave it. So I have another program, or another folder, excuse me, Save Project As. If you hit Save Project, it's just going to resave it right over the same file. But I need to do a backup one just in case this one messes up. So Save Project As, and then I'm going to go ahead and come over here to where it shows my sticker sheet backup. And this is where I save all my backups. And I'm going to go ahead and just hit Save. And this is the first time I'm saving it, so it's not going to ask me if I want to overwrite anything. And every single time you save it, definitely save a backup. Starcraft is known to crash, so when it crashes, it deletes everything. So just learn from all mistakes out there that it's finicky. It works amazing when it works, but it's a real pain in the butt at times. All right, so here we want to go ahead and change the font. I'm going to go ahead and change it to one that looks pretty good, very easy to look at. All right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead to go where it says T size. Okay, right here, I'm going to go ahead and just hit point. I'm going to put it at 750. Enter. Okay. And see how that did it. And that still has it really, really, really big. So let's go ahead and do 0.075. Okay. So that one's just a little bit too small. So let's put this up to, let's go ahead and try let's just put 1.7. So that, okay, that one looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to now pick it up, okay, and if you go right over it, see how my cursor has gone into multi-directional? Now we can move it up. And you do have to be finicky with it because it likes to either go down or up. And just set it there, and then you can come over here to the directional on the right side, click that, and then come over here, and we can move this down. And that looks pretty good. Now the next thing that we need to do is while you're still clicked on the actual design name, you need to come over here to these funky little things here. And where it shows cut, that means it's actually going to cut. Another way of knowing that without looking at that in the case that you're not sure is you can come up here to where it shows the little hourglass preview. And this shows you exactly what is going to be cut. So this means that you're going to have this cut, this little red thing cut, and all those woods cut. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to come over here, and where it shows cut, I'm going to click off of that. I'm going to hit print only, because that means that will be printed and not cut. So again, you can look over here to double check. It does not show it there, so you're done. And then by doing it this way, it means that that is now finished. So now we'll click on this, hold down your shift. You're going to click on the union, and you're going to click on the sticker. Then you're going to come over here, let off the shift, right click on the design, and hit group. Now this one is ready to go ahead and copy paste. I can move this one up. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is save it, because I have had too many of these mess up. So we're going to save it and give it a hot minute. And again, now this is being saved in the backup. So now I'm going to come back over here, hit save project as. This way I can go ahead and change it to my other location and hit save. It's going to ask if I want to replace it. It is a yes. And you really do have to do this throughout it, really and truly. It's not something that's going to automatically autosave or anything like that. And if it happens to mess up and crash, pretty much all the work that you have had is gone. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that put on there. And then let's go ahead and do one more of these really quick here. So bear with me just a moment. Let's go ahead and pull one more of these. I'm hoping I have another copy one. I just did this one. Okay, I love this one here. So here, I'm going to just pull up my little design, and we're just going to pick it up and drag it this way. And now I'm not touching anything. I literally am sitting back a little bit, and I'm waiting for it to actually pull it. The more stuff that you have on here, the longer it takes. And as you can see, the little cursor has now changed, so that should be good. All right, so now that it's done that, all right, so we are back here, and we have the design, and it has pulled over, okay? And what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and size it again. So you're going to come over to the right side where it shows this up and down. You're going to click on that, and you're going to go ahead and come to the one that has bigger number, which is this one, and we're going to put 0.9. Enter. Then automatically we'll go ahead and size it down. Now, with this one here, we have the sticker on the back on it. So, I'm being honest with you, Starcraft really is this nitpicky. There may be some people out there that's going to be like, no, it's not, but let me tell you, I play with this program on the daily, and it really does have its good days, and it has its bad days, and I have had it to where it has messed up because it's directly on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the group in the back, and that's the little group over here, and that is my back sticker, and I'm going to drag that one away. I'm not touching the main sticker that we're going to be playing with because I don't want that one to start messing up, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and now click off of that one. Click back on my blood type is coffee, okay? And I'm going to come up here on path, hit offset path. That's going to go ahead and pull my cute sticker, put the little offset on it. Now on this offset, we will need to clean this one up a little bit more if we keep that setting on it. So I might go ahead and put 0.035, hit enter, not the OK button. We're only hitting the enter because that means that I can still change it, okay? And what I'm looking at here is underneath the my, do you see this line? This means that we're going to have a little itty bitty piece of paper in between that. No matter how big you make the sticker, it's going to have a little sliver. I personally don't like it that way, so either we're going to make it a true die cut, put 0.025 enter, and see how that made it a lot bigger, so that way it's actually getting closer to the words. You can do it this route, so it's just a closer cut, and that will actually be fine. You just need to kind of clean up some of these little itty bitty spots here. This little spot here, for an example, means that it'll have a hole through it, you know, so when you peel this sticker off, this little spot will be a hole. So like if you put it on a pink wall, pink's going to pop through that, okay? I personally don't like it to look like that, so I am probably just going to go ahead and put this back to 0.030 like this, hit enter, and I'm just going to clean it up. So I'm going to hit enter, or excuse me, I'm going to hit the OK button, and it disappears. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to this little thing here, hit that little thing right there. That's going to open it up. You're going to hit the cut file. You're going to come up here to the color, and then you're going to come up here to the stroke color, and we're going to put to color because it's on none. And now you're going to hit this, excuse me, and we're going to go ahead and put this one as red, because red's always going to be my kiss cut, and the blue is always the one that cuts directly through everything. So here's that one. Hit OK. And then I'm going to go over here, and right here where it shows the shaping tool, I'm going to click on that, and all those little wonderful dots show up. And now I'm going to just click on those and hit delete, delete. Hit this one, delete, delete. Hit this one, delete, delete. Now, if, for example, you accidentally, like, I'm trying to see if any of these, okay, so this one here underneath the my, if you click on that one and you're like, yep, I definitely want that one gone, and you hit delete, you see how all of those lit up? If I hit delete again, that entire thing's going to be deleted. And really and truly, I have done that, and then I hit the undo button, and it's probably about a 25% chance of it not messing up. So I personally just try not to do that too many times, because if you hit the undo on a big one like that, it seems to really not like the program that much. So now what I'm going to do, instead of hitting another one over here because it's really hard, oh, that one I actually got it, hit delete, and then that one right there I really want, but I cannot, even though I've hit it, it's just not grabbing it. So I'm going to come over here to one of these other ones that I know are not attached to the big blue one, and click on that and delete. And then we'll come back up here. Now this one here, now that I see it and the blue's not on it, I'm clicking off of the screen, just over here on the right. You can see that that actually looks really good. I'm not going to delete that extra little dot. Now you're going to come over here to the right, hit the cut panel, okay? And then let's go ahead and clean these last ones up really quick. So delete. And I am hitting the delete on the keyboard. And you see how that big one just went really big and blue? We're going to hit that entire thing, delete. And then we're going to go ahead and do this one over here, delete. This one, delete. This one, delete. Okay. And I think that should be good. I'm going to click off of it now. And that's what you're looking at. Now, some people might want this to go clear across for a straight bottom, so it's less work on your blade. Honestly, it looks good either way, so I'm going to leave it like that. And then over here, we're going to come over to the right, and see this little down here, we're going to pop it over. That's going to go ahead and put those two together. So now it's back together. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and make the actual die cut sticker plate. So come over here again and hit on that little button. Hit the cut button. This one we're going to go ahead and hit Control C. Now Control V. That has gone ahead and made the actual die cut part of it. And how we're going to make that die cut is over here where it shows cut. You're going to come up here to the, I don't know really what this button is called, but it's all the way to the right. And where it shows print and cut only. We don't want that one. We're going to click on that. You're going to come up here to where it says score, and you want it to score. That means it's going to cut through both sheets, not only the adhesive topping, but also the bottom sheet. So that way it's going to cut directly through it, which is causing the actual die cut sticker plate. So we're going to hit score. And then we're going to go ahead and make that easy tap. Now you can, if you wanted to and not have the easy peel, you could literally, instead of doing all this, you could literally just click on this one part and put that as a score and have it cut directly through it. There's this rectangle, and you're going to hold down the mouse button, the left mouse button, hold it down, and we're going to come over here and just moving it down, okay, and I'm still holding that left mouse button down. It took me forever to figure that out, and they don't really have really good instructions for this program, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty good. So we're going to come down to it shows a rounded rectangle, and sometimes it will do it and sometimes it won't, but we're going to try it and uphold, and then let's just create one right here. Just like that. And then we're going to click off of that. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to try to see if they'll let it go up just a wee bit. No, did not want to. See, it just, sometimes this program is amazing and sometimes it's a pain. Okay, so we're going to manually just do it. So we're going to come over here to where it shows the box with the up and down arrow. Click on that, and we're going to manually just move it up. And this one here, what I'm looking for is the edges here, because ideally this middle doesn't really matter, because the die cut itself is going to be around here. This is just to go ahead and give your customer or yourself an easy little tab to pull down. So over here, I'm just looking at what it's going to look like on this because of how small the sticker is. That little rounded rectangle doesn't really look like it. It looks more like an oval. But I think that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to go up just a little bit. And then I might just pull this down just a wee bit. Just like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to see how this one's highlighted. We're going to go ahead and highlight the one underneath it that says cut and hold down your shift. Okay. And then you're going to come over here, not clicking on anything, not holding anything down. They're both highlighted and they're both clicked on. Okay. You're going to right click with the right mouse clicker. And you're going to go all the way up to where it shows path. You're going to hit union. And just click that button one time. And as long as those two lines there disappeared, it means that you're good to go. If those two buttons, or excuse me, if those two lines did not disappear and it just like groups them together, it means that you need to shut down the program and reopen it. I would definitely save it first, but you have to shut it down and reopen it. It just will not do it. Like for some reason, it just gets stuck in the fact of the matter of it's done, you know. It'll let you do other things. It just won't continue with that. I don't know why, but either way. So I've got that on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just grab that and move it right back up and let go. And that looks great. So now what we're going to do is change the color. So we've still got that one. The union is clicked on. We're going to come up to the palette color. And where it shows red, you're going to click the red and we're going to click it on blue. And hit OK. Alright, and then we're going to verify what's getting cut. We're going to come up here to the little hourglass. And as you can tell, all this is being cut. Okay, so hit done. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to save it. And just save that project. So this is being saved in the first location. Excuse me. And then we're going to go ahead and save it again in the backup location. Just in case it crashes. Because, no joke, when you're doing an entire sticker sheet and the entire program crashes and you lose everything you've been working on all day, like 7 or 8 hours, you really become upset really fast. And I have a lot of patience. So now we're going to come down here to where it says Save Project As. Click that. And then we're going to come up here and just go to the next location that you've been saving it. I always have one as sticker sheet backup and then sticker sheet. So, which really this should be, copy this, okay? This really should be die cut sticker folder, not sheets, because that's typically where I keep all my sheets. But until I get that fixed, we'll just keep it in there. So that is good. And as long as that box is disappeared, you can now play with it. Do not attempt to play with it during that box because I have had it freeze up and crash. And that means that that entire thing's gone. And that's when you start crossing your fingers and hoping that that first save was good. And you're pretty much good to go. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and do a little baby cheat. We're going to come over here to this one here. On the iced coffee one, and we're going to take this logo. Now, the best way of doing this is come down here. See how it's highlighted? We're going to click on this right arrow, and where it shows crafted design, that one little click there, we're not moving it. We're just going to come over here, right click on that, hit copy, click off of it, come over here, right click, hit paste, and voila, we have another one. Now, this one here is bigger. Okay, because we haven't enlarged this one. So we're going to first come over here to this one here because we don't want to mess this entire sticker up and just re-click that button. So now that one's not going to get messed up. And then we're going to come over here to where this sticker is and we're going to hit that little button, which is the downward, and we're going to just close it. So that way these two are back together. Now, the union one in the back, which is the die cut one, is not on that. It's not grouped yet. So, and how you know that it's not grouped is it's not actually in this layer, okay? If it was, then it wouldn't be right up above here. So if we go to grab that, pretty much the design, remove, and that union one that we just did that's blue is going to stay. But what we're going to do is we are going to hold down your shift and hit the union. And then we're going to right click over here. And then we're going to hit group. Now, as you can tell over here, it's disappeared. So now it is together. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to come over here and we're going to enlarge it so that way we can go ahead and put this on here and not possibly have to change my font. So come over here to the little box that has the up and down. I'm going to click on that, and we're going to go ahead, and I want this to be a 2.5 inch, so we're going to go ahead and put 2.5, hit delete for the delete of the 9, hit enter. It automatically sizes the top one because we have the key proportions on there, and then we're going to go ahead and just pick this up and move it. And on this bottom one here, you can grab it this way by just clicking on it, and then we're going to move it in here. And as you can tell, it is a little bit too big still. So I am going to manually change that. So go to the 1.3, and we're going to put it at 1.0. So we'll go ahead and click on this. This will go ahead. Actually, as you can tell, that crafty, this one here, which is this one right here, is not in it. So we need to make sure that's put in that one. So when that one's highlighted, you hold down Shift, hit the top one, which is this one here. And then we're going to come over the design, and we're going to right click on your mouse. And then you're going to come all the way down to where it shows group and group it together. So now these two are completed, and come over here because you're still on the shaping tool, hit on the arrow. And now you can go ahead and put these in the location you want. So what I would recommend now is let's zoom out just a wee bit, and you just hit the little zoom button, but you're going to come up here and you can hit it this way. You can move it this way, but I have a lot of issues with that sometimes. So I just manually do it this way a little bit. And these are the registration marks. You can get the registration marks wee little itty bitty where they're like pretty much 1/4 the size of that. However, I have had issues with the machine sometimes detecting the registration marks, and for me it is just not worth the extra like 1/2 inch that you get just to go ahead and have like an hour's worth of frustration hitting the start scan button and trying to get it detected. So for me, with the frustrations that I've had, I've just decided we're just going to leave it at this size. So we're going to have methods probably better when you're wanting to advertise yourself as well. So that way if someone's giving someone else a sticker, they can at least go to your website and say, oh my, Crafted Design Corner actually did this, you know? So it kind of more or less kind of helps your business. And especially sometimes if I get a gift from someone and I know where they bought it, I'm like, dude, this is so cool. I can go back to that website and order something for them as well. So, or more of whatever that product is. All right, so I needed to close out of my program. And I needed to go ahead and re-go into it. And this is what happens when the program, for some reason, after that last save, it has corrupted the file. And it is no longer with us. It has left the earth. So even though it's showing it there, and this one's doing the same thing, that one is gone. Which really sucks, because I was really wanting to go ahead and show you guys a new way. Because I was trying to get all of the stickers on the one sheet of paper, and it crashed. And so that was my saved one. So this one looks pretty good. So what we're going to do really quick, because the other one has corrupted, is we're going to go ahead and save project as. Now, one of these is messed up. So we're going to go ahead and put this one as the Coffee Easy Peel. I'm going to name it 3 because there's 3 of them on there, and hit save. So that little corrupted file button that popped up, that is like the blue screen of death for this program. So when you see that, that's where it's like, thank good heavens that I have a backup. So now that we have this one, we're going to go back up into here to File. We're going to hit Project Save As, and we're going to go back to the original one. And here we've got it as Coffee Easy Peel 3. We're going to go ahead and save it. So this is going to go ahead and duplicate another one in one of the folders. Because right now, the Coffee Easy Peel in, I think it is the Sheets folder, is corrupted, and the one in the backup is not. But either way, I'm going to, once I'm done recording, I'm actually going to delete both of those now, just so I have just the 3, because I know one of them is corrupted, and it's going to just throw me off. And time's money, you know, and I don't have time to waste on trying to figure out which one's which. So what I want to do is because of the fact that these are 2.5 and 2.5, and a page is 8.5, you can't put all 3 of these, boom, 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 boom. You're going to have to like move some of these over. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift, and I'm going to go ahead and take these, right click hit copy. And I'm going to go ahead and come up here to File, and I'm going to go ahead and hit New Project. And I'm going to go ahead and just name this one Easy. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now this is going to be your map size is 8.5 by 11. And then you can on the orientation is this here. Okay, so this is right now, when you put it on the map, it is going to see it as a landscape. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and change it to portrait. Because now that we have a portrait, click on this, right click, hit paste. Ta-da! So this actually fits better because of how wide these are, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead. I don't want it too close. Now remember, the edges, all these edges are not going to be printed. So you're only going to have, when it prints, it's going to say mycraftedesigncorner.com, and it's going to go ahead and have that design. And then I'm going to go ahead and just scoochy these up a wee bit. All right, and then this one needs to be moved over just a wee bit because of how big that top is. See, and sometimes it just doesn't allow you too much control over it, but that doesn't look too bad. I don't care how close it is to that registration line, but I think that should be good. So I'm going to come over here to the directional, and I'm just going to scoot that over a little bit, and let's just scoot this one, only because I really don't like how close it is. All right, now that we've got that on there, I am going to go ahead and save this, just because of the fact I like it on the landscape type. Actually, let's go ahead and just save these down. So hit Shift, hit on all three of them like that. Right-click, hit Copy, click off of those. Right-click again, hit Paste. And then just grab the middle, and I'm holding down my arrow, and I'm just pulling them down just a wee bit. Right in between my print border, and look at that. And then go ahead and do that again. And now I'm just holding down Control, hit V, and then pull those three down as well. Now I think there is a small possibility that we might be able to actually squeeze one more in here. So we're going to try that. Don't know why it's doing the big box. So hit Control C, Control V. Let's drag this one down here like so. All right. And then this one we're going to just push up just a wee bit. Manually pushing up with the arrows on the right side. And that looks really good. And then this one we're going to push up, and we're going to do that also with this one. Okay. Now if you had 4 graphics, then instead of making it vertical like this, you could have just added a 4th graphic. But this right now I'm pretty happy with. Now this one I don't think, because of the edge of this, I don't think we can fit one in there, so we're just going to leave this one as is. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and save project as, and because we created the new page, that's why it's not showing it, but I'm going to go ahead and create easy peel copy. And I'm going to create this one as number 2. I'm going to hit save. And I'm just writing down on my notepad that number 2 is the one that I want. And I'm going to go ahead and save it in the backup location as well. And then I'm probably only going to use it this way because of the fact that, I don't know if it's just how I think of things. I don't like things to be out of order, so I really don't want to have to like rearrange those, because when it was landscape this way, because of how big these 3 are, the 3 would not fit going downward on the landscape, so I had to like move this one over here, then that one over there, and actually move pretty much each of these into each of these other lines. And I was like, dude, this just doesn't look, I like it looking just normal looking, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but it just, in my brain, it just was not, I just didn't like it looked messy. So even though my customer would never get the sheet like this, because these are going to be sold as individual die cut easy peels, you know, this is just, I think it just looks better on my side, so I'm down with it. So now that that went through, and I was a little bit apprehensive because of how slow it was going, we're going to go ahead and save project as. We're going to go into the backup, and we're going to go ahead and just save done. And then just give it a hot minute, because I did not like how long it took to save that. And then I'm probably going to just close out of the program completely. And I'm hoping that that extra long box that was showing up isn't there, because I have had issues when it shows that extra long box of when it does the cut. Sometimes that extra long box, I think that is where it starts going all over the place. So I'm hoping, because we copied it and we pasted here and then we pasted here and we kind of went down in an order and we didn't go all over the place, that when it cuts, then it just cuts all the way down. So, and some people may not mind that, but I do. So that's just one of my pet peeves. I just like it to go down. That way when I look at my cutter and it's cutting, I know exactly how much time I have left. So as soon as this is done here, and I apologize, it does take it a hot minute to do it. I don't know why it's taking us a hot minute right now, but normally it does this long when you have 4 sticker sheets. So my sticker sheets are normally 3.5 by 5, and then I do a split page sticker sheet, which is like 5 by 7. But the only way I normally do anything bigger than that, unfortunately, if you go any bigger than like a 5 by 7, you can't charge a stamp rate on the envelope. It does require USPS Advantage, and that's like $3. Oh, almost $4 now. I think it's like $3.85, and that's just not economical if one person's ordering like one sticker sheet. You know, it's like, good heavens, it's like $9 for a sticker sheet. That's just, you know, it's just outrageous. So what we're going to do now is see this little preview. I'm going to just preview that just to make sure that we have the exact stuff that's going to cut. So this is just showing what is going to be cut. So that looks amazing. Now you can show the print. I'm just being honest with you. This has messed up before. So I've shown print before, and sometimes this whole thing might be gone. Like the whole design is not there, but it still prints it and it still cuts it. So I do not know why. I don't know if that was an old bug that they've gotten out, but I typically just use this just to make sure that I have my cut lines correct. And then everything looks really good on that. Now you can go ahead and recheck on these, but I'm pretty confident that we've got everything good on that. And now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the printer. So what you do is you come up here to where it shows create. You hit on that, okay? And then over here, you're going to make sure it says Solo. I am connected through USB. I have done the Wi-Fi before. I'm just being honest with you. Wi-Fi is hit and miss. It really does cause so much frustration with trying to get it to stay connected to Wi-Fi that I just have my printer directly behind my couch because I have a little cute mobile command center in my living room, and that way I can sit down. I've got a bad back, so I don't stand too long, so I can sit down, do a lot of this work, and then just fix the printer as need be. And then I have use your software speed and force. So it's going to go ahead and use this for the actual speed and force, not the machine. If you don't have that clicked, whatever speed and force you have, it's going to do it off of the machine and not here. For me, that's just more work to be done. Okay. Here we're going to have the cut. This stuff I really do not touch. All right. Now on here we have multi-cut is off. We have the force. So this force is what's going to be the bigger cut all the way around. The biggest cut you see is the force. That's going to make it the die cut, okay? That easy tab right here is going to be the die cut, and that's the force. The force we have, I am incorrect. I apologize. That was a lie. It is the score force. The score is where it's going to score through all the sheets. So I apologize for that. I just realized it as soon as I said it. With the sticker paper that I'm using on this is going to be the online sticker paper. I will link that below. And this one is actually a polyester weatherproof kind. It does require a little bit thicker force. And so I've noticed on my last sticker sheet, 34, almost got it. So I'm going to go ahead and increase that to 35 because it still kind of got caught on some of the tight edges. The tight edges is going to be like right up in here. See how that is really, really close right there? So that would be like a tight edge. That, of course, all of those would have that. I'm not sure if this one has any. Yeah, so these, when it comes up into that, it should just break off of the piece of paper, but if it's a tight edge, and that would be really hard to trim with your scissors. Of course, I'm going to be selling these, so I definitely want it to look very professional. So I really want it to be as close edge to these as possible. And so that, I'm going to go ahead and increase the score force, which is what makes a die cut, 35. The actual force of it is just for the actual sticker portion of it, which is this right here. So this one little line will only get cut once. The entire surrounding side the outside of it, all of this is the die cut, but it actually gets cut twice. So you're going to be looking at the first cut, which is going to be your force, is going to just pretty much cut the sticker itself, and that's a kiss cut. The second cut that it does is going to be the score force, and that's where it's going to do the outer cut, which again, it just follows the same first cut along, but it adds this extra one right there, and that's cutting all the way through both sheets of paper. So you got to keep in mind the design sheet of paper, which is the adhesive sticker, and then the backing, which is just the backing of the actual second sheet of paper that it sticks to. So that's going to go ahead and cut there. This is just the speed that the blade is going to go at, which is 11. And the up speed, I have no idea what that is. So I just keep that at 8, and the speed at 11. I don't really find it too slow or too fast. So that works for me on that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the paper in my printer. And once you have that in there, you hit the print and cut. And then what that does is that pulls it up for your registration mark. So this is going to go ahead and print it. This does not really matter here, okay? This is the exact same thing that was on that other box that just disappeared. And so once it's printed, then you hit, load the paper and you hit start scan. So here you hit the print, and this is going to go ahead and pull up my print settings, which I'm using my laser printer. And then I hit properties. And then over here, I've got the auto select. I'm actually using tray 1 because I auto feed it into the front. And I'll go ahead and get the camera turned on that here in just a second. And then the paper type I use for mine, I have to use the Premium Presentation Glossy, which is 120. If you use matte on the type of printer paper that I have, which is for the laser, okay, you have to use the matte setting. And it's not VHP, this one here. It's either going to be your choice matte 120, or you can come down here and use the heavy, it is the heavy 1130. So I will put those down there, but this one I'm going to use the 120. And then I hit OK. And then if my printer's paper is in there, I'll hit OK. But I'm going to go ahead and get that turned on here, and I'm going to switch the camera around, and so you guys can go ahead and see that. So I will be right back. Right, so this is the kind of paper that I currently use right now, and this is actually what's going to go ahead and make the die cut stickers that we're using. And this one, I've only done a couple of stickers off of this one, and this is only ones for the die cut at the moment. I don't really see a need for the sticker sheets just yet, because this one is the weatherproof polyester, and this is only for a laser, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and grab this out. I'm going to come over here to my printer, and let's go ahead and slide that baby in, just like this. And that normally hits this up. And then it's going to ask AP Glossy 120. That 120 grams is what I really want. And I'm going to hit yep, which is perfectly fine. So that is good on that. And then we're going to go ahead and hit the print button over here. And I will show you that here in just a moment. All right. So we've gone ahead and hit the print button. And so this is going to go ahead and take my little sheet of paper. Now this is a laser printer, so it does heat up. And so with this one type of paper, which is the polyester, you do need to do something specific on this type of paper. I don't use it for the sticker sheets right now, only because of the fact I mean, it looks really good, but I don't see any reason why you would need a weatherproofing kind on that. So, because normally with the sticker sheets, you're normally putting it in like a plan or whatnot. But with this type, when it comes out, it is really hot. And this sheet of paper is actually quite hot. But look at how gorgeous that looks. Isn't that just gorgeous? So as you can tell, it really does roll up a lot, okay? So what I typically do is I go ahead and lay it flat on its head. And then I come over here on my my mat, and I just lay this. And this is my mug mat. So when my mugs come out, when I do sublation, this is heat resistant. So I just literally lay it on there flat, and that just kind of helps it flatten down just a bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that cool down just a minute here, and then we're going to go ahead and apply that to the mat and get this printed, or cut, excuse me. All right, so it has been a couple of moments. So taking the little mat off, and I will link this mat down below as well. I love this mat. It's the, I think this is a smaller one of the two mats that they sell, and it works out amazing. Actually, that one is the larger one because the smaller one's there. But anyway, So here is this one, and as you can tell, it still is rolly, so that is quite annoying, but we'll go ahead and get this put on the mat. Now, I don't use the mat that came with the Solo, but I use this mat here, and I've got 2 other mats that I use as well, and this one works out really, really good. So we're gonna go ahead and get this one. This is sticky, but this is the light grip, okay? Now, whenever you put the mat on here, it's not way up here like on the Cricut and the Silhouette. It's way down here. So we're gonna go ahead and get this lined up. And that was not a good lining. So hold that down a wee bit and just stick it off. Sometimes it's just easier to line it up this way. And some people might have a really, really good time lining these up, like bam. It just takes me a hot minute, so bear with me. Put that right about there. That looks good. Look at how that looks. Isn't that just gorgeous? Just gorgeous. Okay. All right, so I have the mat here. We'll go ahead and get this baby turned on. Okay, let me see if I can go ahead and put this over here on my little setup here. And this is just getting it activated. Sometimes I'll keep it on, and sometimes little lightsaber comes on, and sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, I have this. And then I do typically pull out my machine away from the edge of my couch, about here. And then I do have just a box on the back, and that kind of holds the mat up a little bit. So we'll go ahead and put this on here, okay? And then, let's see if you can see that really good here. I'm trying to make it to where you can actually see what I'm doing. So hold on 1 second here. Let me move my little setup here a little bit closer over here. Oh, all right, here we go. I think that should be okay. Okay, so here what we're doing is you click this back here, put that down. And we're sliding that in. Now on this roller here, hopefully you can see that roller. So on this roller here, you want the roller, not, so we're looking at this, okay? We want that to be on the mat, but really and truly not on the sticker sheet, because I have had it push up on the sticker sheet. And then this roller over here, I have it directly on here. So I only use this only for sticker sheets and sticker paper and sticker only. I don't actually use it for vinyl whatsoever. So we're just going to go ahead and slide that here. Make sure that is completely here. And then we're going to go ahead, make sure this portion of it is straight on. And then this needs to be right underneath that roller. So now that it looks good, you lock it in place like that, okay? And then on this roller, or on this blade, we actually line this blade up, and it is a manual one. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer on here. So we are lining it up, and we're just using the arrows over here, whoops. And we're literally lining it up to where you can see the edge. Just see if I can zoom in on that. So literally what we're looking at is imagining that blade is right at the edge of the registration mark, okay? So we're gonna come over here, and over here, we're gonna go ahead and hit the start scan. And come over here really quick. And it is scanning my registration marks. And now it is cutting. And as you can tell, it has done just the outside of it. It has not actually done the kiss cut part. It's just doing the outside of it. And put that right there. Looks so pretty. And then the next cut that I will do is the actual kiss cut. So this is the die cut, and the next cut is going to do is the next one here. So now, as you can see, it's doing literally the same cut except that one spot right there, and that's just making it to its kiss cut. And I did put just one extra force on it, but it is ideally only because of this type of paper. And I will be doing one on the sticker sheets, and I'll link below the type of paper that I use for each one of mine, so that way if you guys want to purchase that, you definitely can. This one's a brand new one. It's the weatherproofing kind, so this one will be good for like your vehicles and a laptop on a water bottle, as long as the water bottle is smooth and doesn't have edges, because there are some water bottles that have edges on them. But of course, they're not dishwasher safe. It is a sticker, so don't put them in the dishwasher, okay? Because it will eventually come off. You might have a couple good rounds on the top shelf, but really and truly it won't stay. Just throwing that out there, and I definitely will put that in the description that it's not dishwasher safe, just to protect yourself, because there are people out there that automatically think it's weatherproof or waterproof, and that means we can stick them in the dishwasher. So I definitely do not recommend on that. Now this time when I take these off, it should just come right out. So this will be quite nice. I'm excited on this one because I did up the cutting edge. So now what we do, let's move you over here so you can see. The only way to undo this is you have to manually hit these. So we're gonna push this out, and it is, I don't know why, I always wanna click that one, but it's come out over here. All right, and then we'll move you right over here so you can see how I do this. All right, and then we should be able to very easily just pull this. Oh man, look at that. That looks really nice. So it did the first one really nicely. And I do these very slow, but I like to bend the mat like this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm literally bending the mat so that way we could try to get a good pull. Let's see if I can show this whole thing. Now I'm just holding the paper down because I really don't want my stickers to be bent as much, and I don't want to whip them, which this paper is a polyester paper, so it's not very easy to actually manually whip without cutting it with scissors. So what we're doing is we're just kind of pushing the mat away from these, and as you can tell, it literally is falling, which is a good sign. That's what we want, because honestly trying to peel that off of the mat isn't going to be very easy either. Now when you come up to the edge of it, this is where it does get a little bit tricky, because of the fact that the mat is going to want to spring at your face. So I'm just holding these down and very lightly pushing against the mat now. And there it goes. Now you catch it. See, told you it's going to spring at you. And then you just take your little cover, and I always recover these because dust and particles and anything else out there. So we'll cover that up, and look at this. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? So here we go. And then this is what I was talking about. It should easily cut right off of that. So these should just pretty much just break away quite nicely. It should not be leaving any edge. It should be a nice crispy edge, and it is. So that looks amazing. So we'll just pop all these off. And if you do it too fast, you will have that little hairy particle left. So, and I'm not really sure how much hairy on it looks. It just looks really hairy in my eyes, but then I trim it with a pair of scissors just so it looks really good, because of course you want to look as professional as possible, you know. So look at how good these look though. That is coming off so nicely. So I'll probably, on my settings, is I probably will go ahead and put the force, or the score force, excuse me, one more pressure point, just so that way on the next one, just to see if that will go ahead and make sure. Because as you can tell, I am pulling a little bit on these, and that one did have just a little bit of it. That's what I'm talking about right there, that little itty bitty, see that? So I'll normally get the scissors and just trim that off, but that looks really good. So now we just pop these off. And I'll probably do one more force. I wouldn't do it by two, only because I really don't want to have to be pushing them off of the mat itself, because that will destroy my mat a little bit after so many pushing off, because you're scraping the adhesive off. But that looks really good. So what this is doing is this has your easy peel, your easy peel with my business name, so you can definitely see, oh my, that's where I can go ahead and order more of these awesome little stickers, right? And instead of you having to like come up here and try to get it off, this easy peel makes it to where you literally, you just, hold on, it should just come right off. Now this is the kiss cut, so there it is, look at that. Isn't that nice? That was quite easy. So let's try this one. Let's see if we did that. Oh yeah, this one is a different one. So here we go. You just pull down a little bit, and look at that. So what it is right there. You know when I was showing you when I was taking off the extra bubble or the extra little dots? I should take one off right there because it is catching just a wee bit, but look at that. That was really fast. So taking a die cut like that, and then look at this. And this one, it literally is just, you just pull it down just a little bit. See, I might up the kiss cut on this one. It's either because it's kiss cut, I think I might do it by just one. It definitely did it really nicely. It's just, I think it's that dot. I need to have the edges on it more straight up, but look at how nice that is. Like, done. I don't know how many people have tried to take a back end off of a die cut, but they're real big pains in the butt, and you normally ruin an edge because it's like, oh, how do I get this? Like, seriously, try to get that removed and split. It's not exactly the easiest thing, but hey, that, even with how this one's ripply, which honestly I know there was quite a number of people that have it straight edge, so that way it doesn't do that, because you're literally trying to grab it and it is a little bit tougher that way, but I don't mind. That looks really good and it looks cute and it has a little bit of class, but look at that. We just literally made all of these stickers, and now I can go to a craft show and put these in little baggies, give these away for free, you know, add these, you know, as little freebies, sell them, anything you want to. And what's nice, because of the fact that you've got your business logo on it, is if somebody happens to be giving this to somebody as a gift, you know, they'll be like, oh my God, I want to buy something in exchange, you know, or I want to get something for them. They can hit your site and see all your other stickers because they can see your quality of them. And these look really, really good. And it has that easy peel on it, so it makes it so much easier to get them off. But I will go ahead and I will be making one more video on the easy peel, but I'm only going to do one sticker, so it's not a 5-section part of it. And it'll be a lot faster. And so if you need to be able to fine tune it and really get nitty gritty, these videos are probably the best way of doing it because I try to show everything on it, but we have gone ahead and gotten that taken care of. So anyways, all of my product links for the products that I use will be down below. And if you have any questions, definitely don't hesitate and reach out to me. I'll help you any way I can. Thanks so much.